Hey everyone, Ben here and welcome back to something just a bit special. We're at the closing stages of the RWB 9 Hours of Spa, our first ever endurance race. We qualified in 38th, we're up in 30th now. All the pit stops have been done. It is a sprint to the finish, and quite extraordinarily, after 8.5 hours of racing, over 200 laps, the car up ahead, not the very next car on track, he is a front runner, but the one after is Pavel Bogdan, the team that we started alongside 8.5 hours ago. We're into the braking zone then, down into the cockpit. We are chasing Pavel down for position here with just half an hour left on the race clock. So it's all going to be about, can we squeeze on past into this final stage of the race. We're coming down into Eau Rouge then. Be as brave as we can, feathering the car through. We're both running on old tyres here, so we've got to be a little bit careful, but we get a brilliant run through Raidillon. We're in the Ferrari against the Aston Martin, so we've got a little bit more top speed anyway. We're going to pull back onto the racing line. Pavel's on our inside. He's gone defensive, but we're actually clear into the braking zone, so I'm able to come across, take the apex, and amazingly we're able to squeeze on past after so long racing against this fellow SCB team. Unbelievable action in the final stint of the race to be able to just squeeze on past. They were slightly out of cycle with us on pit strategy because there was a major incident early on for them. They've done incredibly well to fight their way back, but ultimately in this final stint, as we see now on the replay footage, we're able to get the run just as Pavel's tyres are coming up to temperature. We've been out on track just a little bit longer in this final stint. Better run through Eau Rouge and Raidillon, and that just gives us the speed, and you'll see we're a car length ahead heading into the right-hander there at Lecumbe. And we're able to make the position stick, and that is us up into 29th position. We'll take a final look at it as we come up the hill. Dramatic racing this late on in the race. It's just unbelievable to me that after so long on track, over 200 laps, we were separated essentially by a few seconds, and we're able to fight for position in the top 30 of this race. Over 60 cars took the grid, and we're now well into the top half of the field, and actually we may be able to fight for more positions here because Lepage up in 28th position is not that far ahead of us. So we fast forward then just another 5 or 6 laps, really getting towards the sharp end of the race now. We've got a couple of back markers up ahead of us that we're going to have to clear if I'm going to be able to get onto the rear wing of Lepage as we're heading down the hill once again and then into Eau Rouge. Got to be as committed as we can, but you can see the blue flags are out for the car ahead of us, so hopefully he is going to get out of our way as we come onto the Kemmel Straight once again. We're pulling to the inside. We're going to have a top speed advantage as we come past the car on our left hand side. That should be the position done, and again we're able to retake the racing line, which makes Lecumbe that much easier. But you can see up ahead, actually that's not a back marker in the blue car, that is a front runner. It's one of the fantastic and quite stressful things about endurance racing. There are cars up ahead that are a lap ahead, there are cars up ahead that are a lap behind, and you really got to work your way through the traffic and understand who's racing for position and who is not. But that front runner has made his way past Lepage, so he is the next car up on track for position. There's not long left in this race. We're going to get back down into the cockpit then and see if we can't reel in Lepage up ahead. Big shout out at this stage to my teammates on this race. Chris Rogers from Chris Rogers Sim Racing. Check out his YouTube channel, there's a link in the description below. And Jason Spooner. For all three of us, this was our first endurance race of any kind, and it was just such good fun doing it with those two lads. Brilliant crack throughout the race distance, but you can see we are visibly closing in on Lepage. Whether he's got damage, whether he's struggling with tyres or saving fuel, I don't know, but it looks like I'm going to be on his rear wing as we come through Blanchemont and into the bus stop chicane at the end of the lap. In fact, we might even close in on him too soon. I'm going to have to get right out of the accelerator. There is no way past here, and I don't want to risk an accident this late in the race. We have avoided all penalties, and we've basically had no off tracks, only a couple of very small mistakes. As we're down his inside, we're going to have the position here. Hopefully he doesn't fight us around the outside. No, it looks like actually he's completely missed his braking point, so we're able to take the second apex, and we're up into 28th position with just 15 minutes left of the race. Incredible stuff to be making up positions this late in the race. That has been going on for so long. Here's a replay then of that move as we're barreling down the high speed section, but I can't run full speed through here because we're just too fast. We're going to run into the back of him. I've got to hope that we don't wash out following that closely through the kink there and then peel off down the inside. We're alongside into the braking zone, but you'll see on the left hand side of the screen there, just gets his braking wrong, Lepage, and he's off into the runoff area. That allows us clean passage up into 28th position in the race, and that represents a fantastic move for us and a fantastic position to be in at this stage of the race, up 10 from our qualifying position. And it just goes to show that if you can keep your nose clean, if you can be relatively steady, we have not been setting, quickest laps of the race at any stage of the race, but what we have been is pretty consistent, really, and at the end of the day that looks like it has paid off as we reach the very, very final stages of the race. And here we are on the very last lap of the race, just bringing the car home now. We've eased off. We've managed to break away from Pavel behind us. He's a good 14 or 15 seconds back behind us, although encouragingly he too passed Lepage late on in the race, so clearly he was carrying an issue of some kind or another. The leaders have finished the race as we come down into the bus stop for the final time. Over 220 laps ran in this race. Mind-blowing figure, but just great to take the checkered flag and to do so in such a great position. Again, big thanks to my teammates Chris and Jason, and a huge congratulations to everybody who saw the checkered flag. There were a number of SCB Racing Community cars in this race, and although a few suffered from technical issues, disconnections and the like, and big commiserations to them for that, actually we had some really good finishes amongst the SCB squads. Right up there in the top 10 and in the top 20. You can see the pink Porsche behind there flashing us. That's the team of Christian Goethe and Jasper van der Vaart. They came home in the top 20. Brilliant to be racing alongside them and the rest of the SCB team. I hope you've enjoyed this brief highlights package. It's really hard to communicate the drama of an endurance race that's been going 8.5 hours long where you're still fighting for position, but hopefully you got a sense of that. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like, get subscribed, and I will see you on the next one.